Ahead on DC News Now at 9, Hurricane Ian quickly approaching Florida. Millions in the path of the storm gearing up for what's to come. A lucky few catching a last flight out to the DMV. Our Dave Laval live tonight. They leave their homes not knowing what they'll return to.
So we're going to work very hard to regain and rebuild that trust.
An investigation complete after the fallout over a middle school counselor who's now a convicted sex offender. Why the Fairfax County School Superintendent says he stayed on the job even after his arrest.
Plus, overcrowding concerns at DC area schools. District has a solution. The parents worried it'll split their community in half.
Good evening, DC. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Rain drenching Miami tonight as Hurricane Ian approaches. Roughly 2.5 million people now under evacuation orders as the storm tracks towards the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, Tampa International Airport, Orlando Airport, and St. Pete Clearwater International Airport grounding all planes tomorrow. Some travelers are deciding to ride out the storm, saying there's no way out. But officials are pleading with residents to heed the evacuation orders, saying the flash floods could cost lives.
I think I'm going to have to experience it as well because there is literally no way out in terms of travel.
All of the neighbors in the stores here, we all help each other out because that's just what we do in Gulfport.
All right, we have live team coverage tonight. Our Dave Laval standing by at Reagan Airport as evacuees fly in from the Sunshine State.
Yeah, but we start tonight with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb keeping an eye on the storm's path. Janessa, the biggest fear tonight is that this storm could strengthen to a Category 4 hurricane.
Yeah, and that's what we are expecting overnight into early morning hours. So a major hurricane that is continuing to get stronger. This is a very robust storm system that's already causing actually a tornado outbreak across southern Florida at this time. So our satellite radar, you can see right now the eye of this storm system going through a replacement cycle, and it's taking its time. So that means this storm system continues to really strengthen. These outer bands have been impacting southern Florida for the last few hours, and that's why we have tornado warnings continuing to go off across Cape Coral to Tampa area, all the way down to Miami. Reports of 5 tornadoes already that have touched the ground, and that's going to continue for the next about 24 hours. Now, I am going to say this, I will not rule out the possibility of this storm system going to a Cat 5, and the reason why I say that is because it's in a very warm Gulf, and it continues to really expand at this point. Right now, we're watching the intensification, but as you can see from the National Hurricane Center, overnight tonight, we're expecting sustained winds picking up to 130 miles per hour. And as it makes landfall, you can see the narrowing of the cone of uncertainty now has shifted about 50 to 60 miles down just south of Tampa. So Cape Coral, I do want to put Naples in this as well. This makes its way onshore as a Cat 4 storm. As it interacts with land, we are seeing it subside, but even our friends in Orlando, Central Florida need to be prepared for a Cat 1 storm. And look at this. It's going to go offshore once again back into the Atlantic. And right now I'm forecasting that you're going to have a double landfall with this storm system. And so we'll watch Georgia to the South Carolina as well. Going into your Friday, it looks like our secondary landfall happens around Savannah, Georgia, and then stems back into the Carolinas. So this will have widespread impacts. At this point, folks, the category, it does not matter. We are talking about storm surge up to 20 feet in some areas, sustained winds up to 140 to 150 miles per hour with power outages expected for at least the next 2 weeks across this area. Now, after this turns into an area of low pressure. As it makes its way up the East Coast, how does it impact the DMV? We'll look at that coming up.
All right, and speaking of which, the DMV is now hosting people who fled Florida to avoid Hurricane Ian.
Yeah, it's kept things a bit busier at local airports, including Reagan National. That's where we're joined live by Dave Laval. Dave, you spoke with several passengers just arriving from Tampa.
Chris, Tasmin, basically, they're just glad to be out of the path of the hurricane, and they hope to return home over the weekend. Southwest Flight 2020 arrives from Tampa, Florida to Reagan National Airport. Gloria Allen waits for her bags. She's glad to be anywhere but the west coast of Florida.
That's wonderful.
Alice Honeycutt of St. Petersburg feels the same way.
Absolute relief. Absolute relief.
The two caught one of the last flights out of town Tuesday. People across the country are watching closely as Hurricane Ian inches closer to Florida. People looked for any way out of the storm's path. That created a mad dash for flights from airports in harm's way. That included Tampa International, but Allen and Honeycutt were surprised when they checked in for their flight.
There was hardly anybody there. I was surprised. There were plenty of people, but not what you're accustomed to.
I have flown in and out of that airport for 40 years, all times of day and night. I've never seen it so empty.
While they're grateful to be out of danger, both had reasons for why they came to Washington, D.C.
I have a daughter that lives here.
Before the pandemic, I came up for the African American Museum when it first opened, and I spent 2 days, and that place is so magnificent, you cannot do it in 2 days.
Both women will watch and wait to return home and see how much damage the hurricane caused them. Right before we went on the air, we did check the big board here, and Southwest does have a flight from Fort Lauderdale scheduled to arrive at 11 o'clock. And that's it for tonight. As you heard earlier, most of the airports around Florida are closed. However, Fort Lauderdale and Miami International airports are still operating for now. That could very well change tomorrow. For now, though, we are live at Reagan National Airport. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Keep your politics off my identity.
And it feels like Governor Glenn Youngkin is waging a war on queer people.
Today from Fairfax County to Richmond, thousands of students across Virginia walking out of school. They are protesting Governor Glenn Youngkin's proposed transgender policy. Among the changes, trans students would be required to use bathrooms and locker rooms that align with their sex assigned at birth. Parents would also be allowed to choose which name and gender pronoun their child uses at school. Skylar, a transgender student in Richmond, among those opposed to the revisions.
It's really going to put a lot of kids in danger. Trans kids are already at so much more of a risk for bullying and depression and thoughts of self-harm and suicide.
So far, Governor Youngkin is not backing down from his proposal. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll hear from the state superintendent.
And tonight, Fairfax County Superintendent met with families of Glasgow Middle School to share the findings of an independent investigation. You may recall a counselor there kept his job even after he was convicted of soliciting a minor for sex. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marsoa has brought you all of the developments since this story first broke last month. He joins us live. Max.
Well, look, the superintendent, Michelle Reed, did defend the school's actions, saying the report did confirm that FCPS didn't know about Darren Thornton's arrest or conviction. They actually didn't know anything about his criminal history until the more recent second arrest. But the rest of the report that Michelle Reed summarized to families today did find that there were some failures on part of the school district. In front of cameras and families at a Tuesday night meeting, Superintendent Michelle Reed said the full report on how Darren Thornton, a counselor with a troubling arrest record, kept working will remain private because of attorney-client privilege. But she says it's straightforward. There were 5 areas of findings and recommendations.
It's my commitment to make sure all of these recommendations are actualized.
One of them involves hiring practices, which the report said found FCPS had some systemic gaps,
including reference checks, verification of appropriate licensure, and information sharing between jurisdictions.
Another problem found within FCPS was it allowed suspension without pay for employees following felony convictions. Reed says that will change.
We're going to promptly initiate dismissal and license revocation petitions for all employees convicted of various crimes, and we will not accept resignations from employees who are convicted of such crimes.
Reed says more frequent background checks, documenting employee leaves, and requiring licenses to be more regularly verified will address the other systemic gaps within the division.
The situation has broken trust. right, with our community. So we're going to work very hard to regain and rebuild that trust.
Kathleen Brown says Reed is on the right track and praised FCPS as a whole, but tonight left with some concerns.
To blithely say, no, this is not happening, it's not going to happen again here, very naive.
In addition to wanting the full report released, Brown was wary of private one-on-one sessions between students and counselors happening behind closed doors.
Just like when I'm in a doctor's office for a particularly private exam, they have another person come into the room to make sure that, you know, my needs are met.
Now, Kathleen Brown did share those concerns with Superintendent Reed during the meeting. Reed said she wasn't really comfortable with one of the suggestions, which was to put a camera in the room, but she said as far as having a second staff member in the room, that's something that she will bring forward and discuss with her team. Reporting live outside Glasgow Middle School, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Developing now, DC Public Schools will soon expand its portfolio, adding more schools to the district. It's a way to address overcrowding in classrooms, but some parents fear how they will fill the new schools could split their community in half. Marielle Carbone is live tonight at Stoddard Elementary. And Marielle, that's one of the schools that could be affected.
Yeah, it is. You know, if DC Public Schools moves forward with its current plan, some students that attend Stoddard Elementary could be rezoned to attend a new school, Foxhall Elementary. And some parents tell me it's not only unsafe for students here to get there, it is also bad for the neighborhood. Still, a new resolution tonight by City Council has some parents feeling a little more optimistic. Parents say the classrooms here at Stoddard Elementary are a bit overcrowded.
We, for a number of years, have been really hitting up against our boundaries, physical boundaries.
In February of 2020, there were 505 students enrolled, yet capacity is only 339.
Yeah, we're just maxed out.
Stoddard isn't the only school with this problem. It's why DC Public Schools is planning to build a new elementary school, Foxhall Elementary, taking students from Key, Mann, and Stoddard schools to fill it. But some Stoddard parents say the plan doesn't make sense.
So as the crow flies, it doesn't seem that far, but we've really got two major parks that families would have to traverse through that are not designed for walking through. And then we've got busy corridors, but that are not well serviced by public transportation at this point.
Stoddard is here on Calvert Street. Foxhall will be more than a mile away on Foxhall Road.
It's not going to make sense to leapfrog Stoddard families over blocks of families that are assigned to another school to then assign them to the new Foxhall school.
District Council might agree. It's considering this resolution, which says DCPS should ensure no family assigned to the new elementary school has a longer commute to school than their current one. And although it's not binding, parent Lauren Welsh believes passing it could make a difference.
That this elevates the issue to say, like, look, our ANC has said this, our PTO has said this, the council is saying this, and the more voices that we can get to sort of highlight sort of the flaws in the plan, that maybe DCPS will say, you know what, we will, take a pause on our plan or remove Stoddard from the plan.
And I did talk to one parent here who says that the new investment and the new school is a good thing, that it's really needed for this area. Kristen Thasmin, there also is going to be an expansion here at Stoddard Elementary, but it's not going to be big enough to fully address the overcrowding, meaning some kids will still have to go to that new school. Reporting live in Glover Park tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. And so ahead here on DC News Now, claims of harassment and violent threats. New details tonight in a discrimination lawsuit settled in Prince George's County.
And more than just a grocery store, it's a new oasis in one of DC's food deserts. How this grand opening is creating hope in Ward 7.